Let's go with the granny wagon. Is that a Supra? Who did it? Come on! Dead white!
Hello everybody. It's really humbling when people request more videos regardless of what they are. So let's do one that I've been putting off for a while. Let's do a quick tune-up on me Amigo here. It's 92, 94, something like that. Try not to look at the battery terminal. That's gross. Do we want to just cringe at how horrible I've been taking care of this thing over the winter so far? So what we're going to do is change the plugs, the wires, and the distro cap back there. If I can keep from knocking the grill off. If I do it one more time, I'm going to kick myself in my own ass. So it's a 7mm little bolts. There's 3 of them. There's one here, and there's one that you can't see that's blind. Then there's another one down here on the bottom, but you can feel them. And because I am terrified of hooking these up incorrectly, we're actually, it seems loose. We're going to take the cap off and do everything on top of the engine. So we'll take the cap off and pull all the wires off, and then we'll switch everything and replace it all. And everything should come off pretty easy. Plug wire tender back here, and then our wires and plugs. And this is one of the easiest things you can do, and I don't even know if it needs it, but I don't know if it's ever been done. The wires look original, even though I'm guessing, is that a Nation coil? No, I don't know. I'm sure somebody will fry me in the comments. Whatever that is new. Like a CDI or something, maybe. I don't know. But the distributor plugs into it. I'd say a coil, but it wouldn't have a coil if it has a distributor, right? Or maybe it is. That just shows you how much I just don't know. Shouldn't even have said anything. Now y'all are gonna know I'm fucking retarded. So anyway, I believe it's like a 13/16 for these plugs. I'm gonna pull them off, take all this off here real quick, and get it laid out so we see what we're looking at, and we'll replace it all bit by bit. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I may replace the distributor cap and then do one wire at a time, because I'm a paranoid person, and we'll take care of that too. But we'll do this off camera, because I mean, this is just like water and baking soda. So anyway, let's get to it. As usual, things didn't quite go as planned. So while I was taking the cap off, this is the old one, still connect all the wires, there's a rubber gasket that goes around. It's kind of, I don't want to necessarily call it a gasket, even though that's what it is. It's just a thick rubber seal that goes around this. You can see there's oil weeping out of this. So I pulled this off, and that rubber seal just fell off. And I pulled it off the rim around the cap down here. Okay, there we go. I pulled it off the rim where the cap goes on to the distributor, and took it inside on the bench and paired it up to the bottom of the new cap. And the caps are the exact same. It's the right cap, and I'll show you part numbers here at the end. And it is so old that it had stretched and was drooping down and was squishing out of the bottom of the cap. So I had to cut a small section out of it, and I used RTV silicone gasket maker to reseal that back on there, which is why I didn't film it. I was doing it in a hurry, and I didn't want to get gasket seal all over my camera, and I was trying to get it done quickly. You shouldn't have that problem, and I highly suggest just getting a new gasket seal, whatever. I'm going to order another one. This is temporary. I'll take it back off and put another seal back on it so it's correct. And it all just, it's literally 3 bolts. It was the easiest thing I've ever done. The hardest part is actually getting to it and getting that back screw that goes back there back in its hole where it belongs. But let's see if I can. There you go. Oh, here we are. This screw right here is the difficult one to get to. I started with this one because it was easy, and then this one, and the bottom one, I don't know if we can get down that low, bear with me, I know it's rotating all over the place, is down here. But I did get started back on there, and I got the seal back on the cap where it's supposed to go, and I put these back on finger tight. So I'm just going to snug them up. They don't need to be on there tight. You'll break something. It's just a piece of plastic. They just need to be making a good seal against the rubber seal on the distributor and the cap. And then we're going to go one by one and replace these wires just one at a time so we don't mess anything up. So bear with me in the methodology that I do this with, because I know there's going to be a lot of old timers and people who do this all the time who are going to call me a stupid, an idiot, don't know what I'm doing, blah blah blah, etc. But I've never done it before and I want to make sure I do it right. So we're going to take each wire off one at a time and put it in its respective place. Yes, these are the old wires. I'm going to put them back on the distributor the way they're supposed to, and I'm just going to start at one time, make sure it runs, and shut it back off because I don't want anything to get hot. Probably not going to do that. Scratch that. We're not going to turn it on. We're going to take each wire off and put it back on its respective spot, and then get this old cap out of here, and then we're going to get each individual wire and replace it. So we'll do the main sending wire. That's got to be a coil, right? That's got to be a coil, like an ignition CDI box, like a, right? It's really bothering me because I should know what this is called and I don't. Okay, one wire at a time, get this out of here, and then we're going to replace each individual wire, and then we'll do the plugs last. That was super easy. I didn't even put them on very tight. I just stuck them on top so you can see, just pull them back off when it comes to that. So now it's for this part. And I know a lot of people are probably like, well, the wires have got their little thing on there to tell you which one it goes to. Well, I am terrified that those are wrong, and I don't want to have a malfunction with something and break something. So we're just going to go one at a time, start swapping out all these wires. So this will be a bit tedious. You're going to have to go one at a time, and for like this one, you pull that out, you pull it up there, and another one back there. Okay, you have to feed it all around. Move this old crap out the way. Well, you get the gist, right? Very, very plausible that these are original wires. They were replaced, it was a while ago. So we're going with NGK. I will show all the part numbers for all the stuff that I got. I always do NGK. They've always been good for me. I use them on my bikes, my car, so I figure might as well be on the truck too. So let's just start switching these out. Hopefully the music isn't too loud in the background where YouTube is gonna take this down, flag it, etc, etc. But here's the deal. These are super easy to film, to do, so I usually don't even show anything has to do with spark plugs because this is pretty rudimentary, but I want to show you this. I took these plugs out, and I don't know enough about different spark plugs because I don't do anything fancy. Everything I use is either a copper plug or just a plain iridium plug or something. These are V-Power plugs, okay? NGK V-Power plugs. I want to show you the electrode. This is the one I took out. Will that even focus enough? I doubt it will. You can barely even see the electrode sticking out. Can you see that? It's like I've never seen one. Surely it's not just burned out, but it's so small. I wish it would frickin' focus. So you could see how, can you see how small it is like that? And I'll show you in comparison, okay? And this was plug number 1. I'm Surprise, this must be these engines must be better than I thought. This has got the 2.6 in it. Compared to the electrode on that. See how fat it is? That other one's like a little needle electrode, but anyway. Okay, well I'm gonna finish swapping these 3 out, and then we'll go over some part numbers real quick and have a beer. Showed my ignorance about them plugs, didn't I, everybody? Each one of them was identical. They were all the same, so clearly that's just the way those plugs are supposed to look. But she's all done. Made sure all my plugs were nice and snug in there. Wires were nice and snug on the plug. Everything's tended. Nothing's rubbing. It's gonna chafe through. So let's give her a bit of a tickle. I think this is a 94. No, it's a 92. Thought it was a 94. It's definitely a 92. Okay. Oh, guess it's good to go. I don't know if it's running any better or not. It had a searching idle, and I didn't know if maybe it was idling low. Is that a vacuum leak? Maybe it was searching its idle because idle air control valve was dirty. Maybe the cold start solenoid or whatever it is was bad. I wasn't sure, but it's too warm today to actually compare it to the way it starts when it's, you know, been sitting overnight and it's 30 degrees outside. It's about 50 today. So anyway, that's all there is to it. Almost forgot part numbers. So these are the plugs I put in. NGK V-Power BPR 5EY11s. This was a distributor cap. These were the plug wires. Usually get stuff off Rock Auto, but I think I might have grabbed all this stuff off eBay, and I just searched for the numbers I was looking for. But anyway, now for real though this time. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Come on, boss! Come on! Yeah!